Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will understand how to solve one-step equations. Okay, so this is the big thing here. Inverse operations are two operations that undo each other, such as addition and subtraction. When you perform the same inverse operation on each side of the equation, you can produce an equivalent equation. Equivalent equations are equations that have the same solutions. Okay. So go ahead and press pause and read through the two key concepts, because we're going to be applying those, and they should be familiar, okay? So read both the addition, subtraction, and then also on your notes read the multiplication property and division property, okay? If you need to, you can pause, rewind to read them. So it says, solve the equation, check your solution. So draw a line. How do you undo addition? Subtraction. So you get y equals 3. Check it. 3 plus 7 equals 10. Check, because 10 equals 10. Add the 5. X equals 8. So you get 8 minus 5 equals 3, so 3 equals 3. Check. So do we understand how we check? Because I'm going to be done checking. I'll leave it up to you guys to check them throughout. Okay? Let's keep going, though. How do you undo subtraction? Addition. So you get Q equals 6. Negative 5 plus 11, 6. Here again, add the 2. T equals 8. Okay, so let's take a look at some division ones. So how do you undo multiplication? You divide. Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 48 divided by 4 is 12. And same way to check. 4 times 12 equals 48. See how I copied down the original but substituted in the value I got? And that is true. 48 equals 48, so check. Here, divide by negative 5. So you get y equals, and again, if you need to, this helps often. You'll see more when we get into larger problems. And then, so negative 65 divided by negative 5. So you get a negative divided by negative is positive. That's 13. Okay? Let's keep going. Now here you have 6 divided by 6, so you get W equals negative 9, because a negative divided by a positive, negative. And then here it's going to be the opposite. You have a negative 8, but it's still so what I mean by opposite, this is a negative divided by a positive. This one is a positive divided by a negative. So you're going to get n equals negative 3. Okay? And remember, plug them back into check. So there's the addition, subtraction, multiplication. Let's start getting into some how to undo division. Okay? Let's take a look at that. So it says solve the equation, check your solution. We already went over how to check, so that's up to you. See how it's t divided by negative 3? Well, how do you get rid of dividing by negative 3? Multiply. Because look, if you put this over 1, it's negative 3 divided by negative 3. So they cancel. So you get t equals negative 27. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. X divided by 5 equals 6. So that means multiply by 5. So you get x equals 30. So there's just basic division. But now we're going to look at the multiplication division going on. Because if you say 5, 6 times w, it's like you're multiplying by the 5 and dividing by the 6. Well, when you have a fraction like that, what you do is you multiply by its reciprocal, because 6 divided by 6 is 1, 5 divided by 5 is 1. And you got to do it over here. And then put the whole number over 1, so you see the top and the top and the bottom and the bottom. Now, something we all need to get good at, simplifying before we multiply. 5 goes into 5 once, goes into 10 twice, so the answer is 12. Okay? Let's take a look at another. Here. See how it's a negative this time? Still the same thing though. So you're going to multiply by negative 4 over 3. Negative 4 over 3. Put that over 1. So the 3's cancel, the 4's cancel, and the negative times a negative is a positive, so you have x. Here 3 goes into 3 once, goes into 9 3 times, so you have negative 12. Okay? So there's the basic steps. Now let's look what would happen in a word problem when we use these. Apologize for my voice, but it's just a little bit hoarse. Alright. So it says, Sean Crawford runs at a pace of 10.1 meters per second. What would his time be for a 100-meter dash? So remember, distance equals rate times time. What's the distance? 100 meters. What's the rate? 10.1 meters per second. Okay. Times the time, because that's what we're looking for. So here's the thing. What I'm going to do, so another way to look at this, you can forget about the units of measure right now. Just say 100 equals 10.1 t. So divide by the 10.1. But the thing we have to remember here is to label at the end. So your time would be approximately 9.9 seconds. And the reason is, if I'm dividing by the 10.1 meters per second, see how the meters per second is a fraction? Well, remember when you divide by a fraction, you have to flip it. So you go seconds per meter, and then you go seconds per meter, and the meters cancel. Okay? And the 10.1's on the bottom, because see how 10.1 meters was on the top? Now it's on the bottom. Okay? Alright, we'll see you guys in class.